Thank you, Ned. I have a question about Ethiopia. First one is, millions of Ethiopians believe that the Biden administration blocks the economic opportunity for many Ethiopian workers when the Biden administration decided to terminate the African Opportunity Act, which is known as AGOA, Trade Preference Program for Ethiopia. The suspension of Ethiopia from AGOA harms many hardworking Ethiopians. If the United States supports Ethiopians with economic opportunity, which Secretary Blinken said many times, does the U.S. administration plans to reinstate Ethiopia's eligibility to AGOA?
So AGOA, or the African Growth and Opportunity Act, as the name suggests, is a piece of legislation. Because it is legislation, it is written into law the criteria under which any country is eligible for AGOA and the requirements that any country, in this case in Africa, must meet in order to remain a part of AGOA. We did determine late last year that Ethiopia, given the statutory language written into law passed by Congress, was not eligible for AGOA. But of course, we want to see to it that the conditions that led to that suspension are reversed. We would love to be able to re-engage with Ethiopia under AGOA, knowing the tremendous economic opportunity that it has brought not only to Ethiopia in the past, but to other parts of the continent as well.
I have a follow-up question. As you know, we have been talking many times about the conflict in Ethiopia. When the Ethiopian military entered the Tigray region, the State Department repeatedly demanded that the Ethiopian government withdraw its troops from the Tigray region. But when the TPLF forces entered Amhara and Afar region, the State Department, instead of demanding the TPLF to withdraw its forces from Amhara and Afar region, the State Department demanded that both parties need to find a peaceful solution. And once again, most Ethiopians believe that the United States supports TPLF and ask, why does the United States support TPLF? What is your response to the Ethiopian people who say that the United States supports TPLF?
We support the cause of peace. We support stability and security for the people of Ethiopia. Our message has been a simple one. We've called on the government of Ethiopia and the Tigray regional authorities to immediately halt their military offensives and to pursue a negotiated settlement through peace talks under the auspices of the African Union. We've worked very closely with the African Union, with other partners on the continent to engage in that process of diplomacy. We've also been very clear with Eritrea and Eritrean authorities that they must withdraw to their borders immediately, and for Eritrea and others to cease fueling the conflict. We're deeply concerned by the human rights abuses that this conflict has brought about. We know, again, alluding to your question, the opportunity that for the people of Ethiopia that would come with, and for a while that did come, with a negotiated truce and a negotiated ceasefire are tremendous. We are doing everything we can to see to it that the African Union, through its diplomatic efforts, is successful in bringing a halt to the violence, which in turn would allow humanitarian access to parts of northern Ethiopia, and once again, bring levels of opportunity for all of the people of Ethiopia. Yes.